Ladies and gents, Tom Hartley here at THD. Working on this 11 Dodge. We were installing a Fass yesterday and ran into a couple snags. Just for those of you who've never done one of these, and I haven't, so yesterday I posted a video on how to do it and getting it set up anyway. So this is part 2 on troubleshooting in case you ran into snags on yours, which I ran into a couple on this one. So after you got all your fuel lines all set up and the pump is all installed, which I'll give you a quick little underview here, which should look something about like so. All installed. Once it's all installed. So anyway, once that's all set up, when you come out here to the front of the pump on the CP3 pump, be sure, because you're doing away with the original filtration. You'll see your original filter here. You'll see your original line coming right here, coming up to the CP3 pump, but this blue line is connected. Do not connect it to the top one. The top one is your return. It'll give you a high pressure circuit 1 code, and what it'll do is it'll start and die, start and die, start and die. And yeah, I went through this for about 6 hours yesterday trying to figure out whether I had a wrong fuel line on or a bad pump or what exactly that was. And it turned out that yeah, because it just had the wrong line on, and it was drawing air into the system via the open line here for the return system. So yeah, so I just saved you about 4 or 5 hours worth of work on that in case you run into a problem. Should you have the lines hooked up right and still run into a problem, here's what Fass recommended to resolve that issue. This is from Fass, and this is how they said to resolve that issue. Should you run into it and have the factory pump, the lift pump is not necessary to remove. They said you can leave the factory lift pump in, and this is their diagram from them. And if you look at it here, this is the relay they provide with their harness. And if you run into issues this is for their hard starting issue, and this is the wiring harness that they send to the top of the kit. And if you cut the terminal 85 wire, which is on the bottom of the relay will be marked terminal 85, cut it, add it to a power window or an HVAC fuse is what they said to add it to. I would personally add it to probably an ignition lead, which is just a 60 amp, full amp draw. So that way it has good clean power. These pumps are known that if they have low voltage or not good clean connection, they will intermittently fail and shut off on their own, which was an initial issue that I did have with this pump, is it would shut off on its own. And this pump does have a built-in shut-off where the pressure gets high enough and it will shut off on its own. That is normal. If you are running into that, that is a normal feature. With that said, that pretty much is pretty basic. So essentially, if you have it's primed up and it's start and die, start and die, start and die, and you're getting fuel to the front filter, which was the straw filter, but not to the water separator, essentially you have an open line on the return side and is feeding in reverse, and it will pull fuel from the return rail via the return tube that's still in the tank. It won't pick up from the straw. So you'll still hear fuel being picked up from the fuel pump from the new Fass. It will pick up fuel from the straw and return it right back to the tank. So it won't actually ever return it to, or won't ever actually take it to the CP3 pump. So, and that pretty much is that. So you can, for a test, take your test light and hook it to the positive side of the battery, and then take your test light and probe terminal 85. You should hear the relay click, and that'll make the pump run full time. This will eliminate the need to cycle the key over and over and over and over and over and run down your batteries in order to prime your pump. So that way you can prime the pump by yourself. So if you're working by yourself, this will allow you to prime the pump on your own and not have the need to have somebody else come and give you a hand constantly. The pump is pretty much self-priming, but there is you have to run the air out of the system a few times in order to get it to start and run. All right, man. I hope that helps out. Good luck, and hope that helps. All right. Have a good day, guys. Bye.